It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Milton Glueck along with Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson, and we're back at Milberger's. As much fun as we had at Festival of Flowers, it's always good to be back at Milberger's. Thank you to all the nice people over there that hosted us. Thank you especially to all the nice people that came by and said they listened to the show, and they sure enjoy it. And I think we made some new friends yesterday. A couple of people came by and go, oh, I'm going to listen now. So this is good. We had a good show. Y'all's thoughts? Did you get anything or no?
Well, I was kind of surprised that Milberger's let us come back here. After.
You think?
After that?
I would have thought they, Trace did say they tried to pack up and move down the block, so we,
Yeah.
where are they?
Right.
Yeah, Mom, Dad, where are you? Yep, so they let us.
I missed all the puppies and dogs and cats that you should come to
Oh, I
Milberger.
know. Hey, did you meet Rolf?
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 The black?
Yeah, the black. Was it a black lab? Was that what that was?
Yeah.
Or a black lab mix?
Mix, yeah.
Yeah, it was a sweet dog.
Yeah, they're
Yes. Can we give a shout out to see if Parker will come
yeah,
over
that's
and
right.
Parker's parents?
actually
Parker's parents came and visited with
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Parker had to stay home.
Now
Parker should be able to come. I'm going to get Parker a ticket next year so Parker can go.
Yeah, some of the attendees at the Festival of Flowers brought dogs.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
There were probably 10, 12 dogs that we saw, little
Yeah.
ones, big ones. Yeah, that was neat. And it seemed to go over very, very well. There were lots of people checking out the seminars and stuff and the kids zone. So anyway, thank you for having us, and thanks to Milberger's for letting us go visit over there. And yep, Parker, we want to hear from you. We're on your side, Parker. So.
Well, does everybody in the audience know who Parker is?
No, I guess they don't. Parker is
A yellow lab.
a yellow, that
with a very
very nice,
strong personality.
yeah,
Friendly
and some nice owners.
and loves coming to the nursery.
Yeah, we like Parker. Parker, listen, if Parker's here, you ask Parker for some advice. Like, I got shade, I need to know what to plant, or my tree is, my tree's like losing some stuff on it. It's dripping. Bark. Yes, yeah, exactly. From the bark. Bark. No, from the bark. I told you. So yeah. Anyway, bad joke.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But he definitely
You'll be
knows.
here all weekend.
Yeah,
Definitely
try the veal.
knows which plant are the favorite to pee on.
Yes, he does. If
Yeah.
you need Parker to come over, does dog pee fertilize or does dog pee burn plants?
Both.
Both.
Okay.
It has salts and ammonia.
Okay, so I need some advice after all that, but we want to encourage you to come by 1604 on Bulverde Road or call us at 210-308-8867, or maybe you have a plant now that you didn't have before that you have questions on, and somebody walked up to me and gave me a 4 o'clock, and it was like, okay, but I thought you kind of complained about 4 o'clocks.
Well, 4 o'clocks are interesting.
Okay, that
The deer
sounds
don't
politically
eat
correct.
them,
Yeah.
Okay.
and they're drought tolerant.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, and they do well in sun or shade.
Oh man, they'll bloom in both.
Yeah.
But
Oh dear, here we go.
now they produce a unbelievable root system,
Oh,
and will if you let them go, they'll before you know it, 2 or 3 years, 4 years, they're in charge. Their favorite place in my neighborhood is my rose bed.
oh really?
Unbelievably, yeah. They've adopted that and fill in there. So they're interesting, but they're pretty unmanageable.
I was going to say, the nice flowers, very adaptable, nice aroma,
I didn't know that.
And, you can pick them out. That's where I go, I smell 4 o'clock
Oh,
somewhere.
good. Okay.
However, just as Calvin said.
I didn't think you smelled very good anymore.
No, I still can smell.
Okay.
It
never gets old, man.
No, it doesn't. No, he still smells.
Yeah.
The flowers are pink mostly, but yellow or red.
This
some
one's like pink
bicolors
on it.
even.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, I
So-
remember in my youth.
Knowing what you knew, we're talking about 4 o'clocks.
Okay.
Knowing what you know now, would you have planted yours differently?
Oh, I never planted mine.
Oh, who planted it? Just came up and volunteered?
Yeah.
Okay.
They come up really easy with seed by the seed.
Oh, really? Okay.
Have you ever seen the seed?
No.
When you're as a young child, a boy,
Oh.
with all your friends, the 4 o'clock seeds look like little hand grenades.
Really?
Yeah, so you could throw them at each other and pretend you're throwing hand grenades.
And every place you throw them, you'll have a 4 o'clock.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Do you have any opinion on 4 o'clock?
No, I was just thinking of a joke.
Okay.
Oh gosh, he's really into Joe.
Yeah.
We're gone one day, and he gets his
I
sense
know.
of humor comes back.
I gotta come up with something.
Okay.
So I was gonna do one I'd done before, but I won't do it again.
Okay. Well, you can save it. We won't remember.
Okay. So when he said young, I was like, well, was that BC or
So, let's see. Before century or can't think of what. Anyway, no one cares. It's
No.
listening. All right, 210-308-8867. Yes, sir?
You talked about the 4 o'clock seeds. It
Yeah.
reminds me, I was supposed to collect some. What kind of seed was I going to collect? The wildflower, the blue curl.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if Trace really was serious that he wanted some. Or,
Sure, I'll make sure that one of the growing operations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
gets it.
I want some.
They always like free stuff.
Ooh,
And then they can turn back around and sell it to me.
That's your firebush that you were talking about yesterday, right? Is that what that is? Or that firecracker?
That's firebush.
That's firebush right by the sign.
That's one of the fire bushes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So
Trace, we were talking about different types of firebush, and you have both kinds here, right?
I have more than that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
4 or 5 different kinds
Yeah.
at times.
Yeah, I think there's 3 right now.
Okay. But
You didn't ask me what variety. what they look like.
no. Is it a yellowish one or no?
So the one that the hummingbird is on is the dwarf guy. Although dwarf really, mine gets 4 feet, maybe a little bigger, even for a dwarf. The normal one is 6 to 8 feet someday. And I do have a variegated leafed version, and right now, and I believe it maxes around 4 feet as well.
Well, it's an amazing plant, and I guess it's the root structure that makes this happen. But if you plant it in a 10-gallon container, it has this disciplined round crown.
Oh, okay.
About 3 foot around.
But
And that's all the big.
but they will fill the root system will fill the entire 10 gallon.
Yeah.
So like 30, 40 years ago,
Okay.
when that plant first came out,
When Mark smelled better.
yes, we planted
Sorry,
a
Mark.
fire bush in a half whiskey barrel, and we planted ice plant around it, and the two went all the way till that store got closed down. So
Wow.
and it survived the cold even in the whiskey barrel, and we always called it the fire and ice barrel.
Oh, that's very clever.
Yeah.
What? Tell me about
Sold
ice
a lot
plant.
of fire bush from it though.
Did you? Okay. What does ice plant do?
Ice plant is kind of like a perennial portulaca.
Oh, okay.
I remember it from Monterey, from the Defense Language Institute.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. There's a lot of ice plants, but
Yes, lots and lots. In fact, it's my understanding that they use ice plant on the roadsides in California. instead of
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, what's
So
great.
that's something I should consider, I guess. If I've got a big planter or something, or just put it in the ground.
grass. It's theoretically perennial in the ground. In a pot, you might want to move it in.
Okay. Yes, sir. What?
I was thinking of a few years ago, 10, 12 years ago, we were trying to match firebush. Firebush is slow to to start in the spring. In fact, most of them are just sending up their shoots right now.
Yeah, that's how we got on the topic about how you need hot weather.
And we would one of the combinations we tried was pansies with firebush, and then the pansies, the pansies are declining right now, so it was just in time. Except that the firebush, once it starts to come up, you better just stand back because the pansies went flying in every direction because it took over the whole space and just came up really fast.
Yeah. They said,
so
feed
it didn't
me,
work out.
Calvin. Feed me.
210-308-8867.
But it is a great plant for pollinators, especially the hummingbirds love it. Firebush.
Okay. Firebush, yeah. Well, we saw that right there. We had evidence of that hummingbird on the firebush. Did you not? Did you see him?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. What kind was that?
That was just a black. What do I want to say? It's got the black throat.
Black chin hummingbird.
Black chin.
Yeah. Okay. All right, 210-308-8867. Trace, can you tell us about another plant that you have that as you're walking around here, it's eye-catching as well? And that's the desert rose. They're so pretty.
They are pretty.
Yeah, tell us about that. They're not on sale. They're for sale.
They're for sale.
Yeah.
So in general, it kind of grows like a ponytail palm. Got a little big base at the bottom, and then it comes up with the leaves. Beautiful plant, tropical, so it doesn't need to be grown in a pot, moved in and out for cold. And I've seen people even bonsai them, where they'll pull them out. There's that base is underground, similar to the top, and if you can expose part of that, and so I knew a young man that would pull them out of their pots, take off the dirt in the center, and put like a rock underneath it, and then plant it shallower, and so it would have a bonsai appearance.
What are the color? What flowers?
I think these are red.
Right. I think red, maybe a little orangey.
Yeah, these
red.
are. No, this is.
No.
This one here's a deep red.
I've had pink.
the different
I've had
colors.
white. Earlier this year, we had some out of Florida that were doubles.
Huh.
And we had a whole slug of different colors. So those were nice. We did real well with those, so we'll do that again next year.
Very cool. I'll have to go check them out after the show and stuff. But yeah, they're pretty. Are they hard to take care of? Doesn't sound like it.
Pretty simple.
Okay. So it's full sun, probably. I mean, they're right there in the full sun.
Half day's fine.
Okay.
No winter.
Yep, no cold.
No cold. Okay, so you can bring them in. Okay.
There's something else in my column we wrote about the Theralis, and it's blooming full blast over there. A bunch of them. It's one of those subtropical.
Yeah. And
Deer-proof.
Deer-proof or deer resistant. Nothing's deer-proof.
Well, that one's I've never seen the deer.
As soon as you say it, that's when it
yeah,
exactly.
Kiss of death.
Thank you.
The deer hear the show and they go, "Okay, where does he live? Do you know? Because we're going to go." Well, it's near Southton. I don't care. We're going to go.
Yeah.
You have a lot of deer in your neighborhood?
No.
I just have one.
Did you really?
No, I just have one deer.
No, that's what.
Yeah.
His wife.
Wife.
I've been trying to give him some. I got about 40, so.
No. Just load them in the back of your Volkswagen.
Yeah, all you got to do is
I'll take them piecemeal.
Yeah.
No.
Give them a little piece of watermelon, they'll jump right in.
Huh.
I don't think anybody else got that one.
No,
Okay.
He's
just a piece at a time.
Yep.
I was kind of thinking that Trace would probably mention the mistflower there. Our supply is replenished.
And we have white, too.
Wow. And then there's this purple plant over there. It looks a lot like that porterweed.
So we got, I counted about 8 of the dwarf, and then I looked across the row, and there's like 20 of the dwarf purple.
Yeah.
Or dwarf blue.
They're more than that.
Yeah. Well.
They're like 75.
Yeah, well.
And the reds are gone.
He went to...
I thought I saw one red. Right by the sign, right down there.
Oh, yeah, they moved them away.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's like...
Yeah, they keep moving. It keeps me on my toes when I look for them.
Let's see, what else did I notice today? I guess, so where those people are is where the Therialis is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that is pretty.
And the zinnias
Oh,
look good. A new replenished supply.
and you have a great sale on a plant that I was bragging about, and I did take your advice and I cut off the blooms off the Vitex, but you have a terrific sale on the Vitex.
We do.
Yeah, you want to tell us about it?
50 off.
Yep, 50% off. Just that particular
that
pot.
particular size, yes.
That's the number 1, I believe.
It's a number 3.
Oh, that's a number 3. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. Regularly $29.99. Now 50% off.
I'd have to check the price, but yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, very cool. So that's
Another deer-proof plant.
Oh, is that right? Very cool, and they look great. And I think yours have blooms on them.
They do.
Okay.
But as you were mentioning, you can extend the season by cutting off the seed pods, just like you would a crepe myrtle.
Yeah.
And if you're into really severely managing a plant, some gardeners will cut them back every year, and
down to
Get
the ground, or
started,
just trim them. Oh, wow.
But it's easier to just let them grow, but because you hate to cut a plant like that back.
Yeah, when it looks so good.
Yeah.
Now, winter it drops its leaves, don't you think? Right?
Before winter.
What's that? Before winter?
Before winter.
Okay. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. What else is particularly good on sale or just in general here at Milberger's? Anything new
Got
in?
a bunch of bloomin' plumbago.
Boy, don't you though?
Got a bunch of cannas. Some few odd varieties, and I got more of those coming this next
good.
week.
Okay.
The
there are going to be
favorite
some
nesting
new
site of the Brazilian skipper.
Oh, okay.
There are
Skipper,
there are going to be some new items in the ad at ridiculously cheap prices that
Wow.
we've never done before.
Crazy Trace. Come on down to Milberger's.
So that comes out
Wednesday.
Yeah. So they can find it in the Express on Wednesday or just on the website on Wednesday? I can't
Yes.
remember. Okay.
Both.
Okay, good. Okay.
Well, and there's figs.
Ooh, yeah.
The reason I mention that is that we, obviously at the event, Festival
Yeah.
of Flowers, we had some gardeners that were harvesting figs.
Yeah, Parker's mom.
And she gave us a few. She had. Did you eat the rest of them, by the way?
No, we ate a couple and then put them in the fridge.
Okay. Figs wrapped in prosciutto with balsamic vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it a little bit more, but I thought there should be more balsamic vinegar.
Oh, okay.
Did y'all take advantage of the plant swap?
No.
Were y'all close to a plant swap?
No. We were.
Milton was trying to get me to sit on the table. It would be swapped, but I wouldn't do it.
Too many coupons you needed to get marked. But yeah, it looked like, but people were still enjoying it. They were.
Well, we
around.
had one gardener that said that we needed to have a training for the volunteers, so that some of the gardeners were the potential there to take advantage of other gardeners, because some plants were high value and some plants were low value. Obviously, he did not get the plants he wanted.
Yes, they were. He had many tickets, and he didn't. He couldn't use them because most of the material at that point in time were a little less than desirable.
That's how. There's always. It's such an exciting event. There's always something that can be corrected or improved, but
and
every year it just does a great job.
We had lots of people, like I said, that came over and listened to the show. We had people that, when they saw the Milberger sign, were like, "Oh yeah!" One woman was so nice. She was like, "I want you all to know, I just recommended you to somebody else. Just recommended you guys." It's like, "Oh, thank you."
It's not, it was some other event they wanted us to move, right?
No.
Oh.
They had recommended Milberger. So, all right, 210-308-8867. So next year will be the 26th. Anniversary celebration of Festival of Flowers. We're going to take a quick break. Come back in a moment with two here at Milberger's at 1604 on Boulevardy Road. Come talk to us. Come over here and enjoy the beautiful day, and we'll see if we can't just talk gardening with you. Back in a moment on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 210-308-8867, 8867. Let me remind you, if you're looking for outstanding food, if you're going to be out there grilling this week or today, still time to head on over there to Pruski's Market. They close at 5, and you will find outstanding beef. You will find outstanding sausage. I want to know if anybody followed the homework assignment. We'll give you another week to get to Pruski's, get the potato sausage that Calvin likes so much. It's kind of a Texas potato sausage, and we want to report back on it. But they have the jalapeno and cheese sausage, this and the kosciuszko. Kosciuszko?
Yeah, you got it there.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. Is that that's the Polish wedding sausage?
Yes.
Yes, you'll love that too. The beef, they have pork. You can get great. This was my first time getting it, and we did a good job with it. I didn't do too bad. That was the pork belly, and cooked it up, and it was good. Kind of tastes like a pork chop, but looks like bacon. And let's see what else. They have the poultry. They have cold cuts.
The party trays?
They do have the party trays.
Calvin and I like. So.
If you've got something coming up, I'm trying to think of Father's Day is coming up. So, yeah, get yourself a party tray, order in advance, and you'll be okay. And just check it out. What you'll love besides the great food is and the great stuff to cook is the great service, outstanding service. From the butcher, from everybody there at Pruski's Market on Highway 87, 10140 Highway 87 in Atkins, Texas. And you can find them online at pruskismeatmarket.com. That's pruskismeatmarket.com. All right, 210-308. I'm going to go there this week, so maybe I'll bring in some, I'll get some of the potato sausage and bring it in.
You know, one of the things we talk about the Festival of Flowers being is kind of every year we get to see some folks we haven't seen for a lot, and there's some testimony and exchanging ideas and information. And we also we ran into some of the participants in the butterfly and milkweed class. And the one that really impressed me was the gardener that she said, "I'm sorry, I haven't reported this before, but I had two of my showy milkweeds that I planted three years ago. They're in bloom now." And I was just amazed because that's the first response that I've gotten that the showies grown from seed have actually matured for now. It's consistent too with the idea that after 3 years, the roots are developed and they're ready. And the germination rate is not high even for any of the milkweeds other than the tropical, but once they get established, you really have accomplished something. So that was good news, and hopefully some of the other gardeners will continue to get some reports on the various milkweeds that have successfully matured. Those that are 2 or 3 years old, do they have blooms? How tall are they and how much foliage do they have? And did you see any monarch action? And plus, you will probably start seeing some queen butterfly action this summer, too. Just like we've just seen.
Yeah, we saw a couple queens.
And I've seen a couple downtown. So, the queens are around.
When we get time, we'll probably have to have I'll get a report from Mary from the Certified Butterfly Garden here at Milberger's to see if she's seen the queens, if they've started to lay eggs.
Oh, that'd be neat.
Yeah.
All right, 210-308-8867.
There's one of your...
Oh, there's the Vitex. She got one. Yep, that's the... Is that a number 3? I think so, yeah. Good for her. And it's got some blooms on it.
And that's on sale.
Yes, it is. Yes. Half price.
Normally, otherwise known as the Texas lilac.
Yeah.
That's pushing marketing a little ways, but it's still it's not like lilac that Calvin and I are familiar with.
Okay.
Well, then
just saying,
you're getting kind of snooty there.
Yeah, I know I am.
Then what was the one that's Milton? Do you remember when we were? This was a number of years ago. We were on the porch here and talking about one of the perennial plants that had flowers the fragrance, it was Fanick's
Oh,
Fox.
the Fanick Phlox,
Yeah.
sure.
And the and I said, well, the fragrance is really like
Yeah.
lilac.
Yeah.
And before the weekend was up, they had sold everyone.
Everyone was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is an excellent plant. And I believe that is a superstar, if I'm not familiar.
I believe you're
not
right.
mistaken, it is a superstar.
I believe you're right.
Uh-oh, here's trouble.
Uh-oh. Hide.
No, it's security.
It looks like he picked his tomatoes a little early.
Oh. All right, Pat, you want to be on the air with us? Come on, grab that
Yeah.
mic. What's going on?
Yeah.
No,
Wait,
grab the
no,
mic
you
so we
got
can
to
hear
speak in the microphone.
you.
Sorry.
You're on the air. What's going on?
I'm here with my wife, and these are the
Wife.
my wife Kathy,
Hi, Kathy.
Kathy.
and this is the gang.
Mhm.
They're not ripening. They're not ripening.
Now, which variety is this?
It's
Okay.
the rodeo tomato that you did in the presentation.
8148.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why
so,
do you,
so they look
what
mature.
else is ripening? Is any of the other varieties? Yeah.
She said no.
I think you got to be a little more patient with them, I think. But in the heat, that's one of the issues with in the heat. Now, they're almost full size. They're not showing much color change, but a little bit. I suspect that they will turn orange on your counter.
Oh, okay.
They'll turn. I'm sorry. Say that again.
If you take them into your kitchen and put them on the counter, that they'll
turn.
They'll turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So I should say that they look mature, and that's all they're going to get. Now they just have to develop, and so you can pick them,
Okay.
and then put them on the windowsill or
Got
the
it.
kitchen counter.
Well,
Yeah.
I would wait.
Well, no, wait. Well, now does that look mature?
Are there any bigger ones than these?
Yeah.
They're all about
Yeah.
the same
There-
size,
there you
and
go.
they've
There-
been that
Yeah.
size.
Well,
There
maybe
you go.
Maybe do a little experiment.
Yeah.
But I kind of think, let's see, what is this? 1st of June. So
Yeah.
we've got
Oh.
6 weeks.
nearly a month.
Yeah.
At least a month. You're right.
I was going to say, I would say the next 2 weeks you could leave them on with consistent water, and then they should ripen on the vine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they might even get a little more size on them. Some of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, of course, the cherry tomatoes are ripening, and
We didn't do any cherry tomatoes this year. No.
you didn't do any ruby crushes.
No.
Okay.
No.
Let's see. There are the other ones. I didn't have. Do you have any trouble with spider mites with these guys?
Never. We've never had spider
Oh,
mites. We
wow,
always
you're
yank
lucky.
them in July, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Do you
See,
do
the
anything preventative?
No.
The tycoons are ripening. The celebrity are some of them are ripening too. Now this is about all the size the celebrity has been getting.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a little bit small, so I agree with you that maybe we should keep them on a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But in order to, the heat is going to be the problem, but in order to counteract that, make sure that the water is consistent, and then it won't split. Oh,
Good.
You reduce the likelihood of splitting.
Sure.
Now you're not letting him. Don't let him pick these too early. You know. Okay. You put a little sign on there. And,
She takes care of all the tomatoes, actually, all the
Oh,
vegetables.
good.
We
What else you growing? Did you-
We have some squash and peppers.
Well, I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Some squash and some peppers.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of squash?
They're yellow.
Okay. Oh, just squash. I guess.
Squash.
Okay.
Oh, see, Milton's into squash.
What?
But Milton doesn't seem to pick it and eat it. He just talks about it and
we ate our
moves
zucchini.
it.
We had our zucchini. I haven't eaten the cucumber yet because I feel guilty about it. But because we pulled up Mama, and then the cucumber fell off, and it was like, oh, what did we do? But anyway, so we probably should eat it. But yeah, but the zucchini we ate, that zucchini, it's tough. And it's pretty. Those flowers are gorgeous. Same with the yellow squash. What is yellow squash called? It's just called
Summer squash.
Summer squash?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What else can I suggest you grow? You do the tomatoes.
The
Mark said
what
bush
kind
beans.
of peppers?
Well, I mean, early in the year, I like bush beans, and they're easy because they're easy to grow from seed. So that's what.
And
just
they're
put 'em
fun.
in a row. Yeah. and they're productive.
The crabapple tree is, we stopped watering it. It looks like it's gotten a little bit worse, but I assume, and of course the rain, you know.
So, this is a Blanco crabapple. You have unfurled its canopy.
Yes.
But protected it against
the deer.
Yes. So, just make sure it's consistent watering. We got a lot of water, and we were worried about whether it was collecting in the bottom of the ditch or not.
That was Trace. I think that was his contribution.
And just consistently water.
Yeah, well, and you say consistently. What I've done is I've stopped to let it dry out, let the soil dry out, and then we'll start watering consistently.
Keep a watch on it though, because it's at a kind of a vulnerable stage right now. It's got, based on what you've told us, it's kind of wounded, from the weather and everything.
And
meaning, don't let it dry out too much. Don't.
And this is the thing. This is why we don't or cannot grow crab apples here in the South. Is we tend to get or have an increased likelihood of cotton root rot. So just make sure that you have a little acidifying agent going out. Coffee grounds, sulfur. Sulfur is probably going to be the best, agricultural sulfur.
Well, we have a lot of coffee grounds.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mary chided me one day. He goes, you really can't acidify the soil a whole lot with coffee grounds. I went, well, you can do a little.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of them. Yeah, you can do it on that.
But it'd be better to do something different.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the idea is that if you reduce the pH, you reduce the likelihood of cotton root rot.
Okay.
And where you guys are, where you're real close to Blackline Prairie,
yes,
that's important.
Okay, that's good input. Good.
Cool.
I don't have anything else. No.
All right.
Thank you very much, as always.
Oh, cool.
Thanks.
So take your guys.
All righty.
All right.
Huh? Now I got a few.
I bet you do.
No, experiment with those.
Yeah, y'all are going to put those in the window.
Exactly.
And see what they do.
Call us. Put it next to the squash so they have a friend. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308, or come on by. We always enjoy. Oh, we need to ask him some bat questions.
Mary, too.
We need to ask Pat bat questions when he comes up next time. All right, 210-308-8867. Maybe Pat can help Trace get bats in his house. That's his second bat shirt he's had on. He had on last week.
I was going to say, did he have his bat shirt on today? I didn't even notice today.
Oh, okay. Did you want to come on the air with us? Okay. Well, you talk to Calvin, and we'll take a break in a second.
What plants bring in, or how to bring in more dragonflies? And I'm going to tell why. The reason why. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so 210-308-8867. We'll take a quick break and come back in a moment. More 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson, live here at Milberger's Nursery. Beautiful day today, and lots of folks coming by and visiting. Well, we'll ask that question on the air in just a moment. But right now, we need to talk to Bruce at 210-308-8867. Bruce, welcome to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. How you doing?
Doing well, thanks. Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a question. Oak wilt hasn't really been in the news as heavily as it was in the past. I live in a high oak wilt area. And I'm trying to use some one of the cornmeal suggestions of cornmeal mix and water. And I'm wondering where to water. Mostly I've been going kind of against the trunk, letting it run down through there, and I'm wondering if it needs to go out more around the drip edge.
That is correct. You need to get the what you're trying to produce is a beneficial fungi from the cornmeal. So you want to get further out near the drip line.
Okay. That's basic.
What are you? How come are you basing protections from oak wilt from the cornmeal?
No, from beneficial fungus that derives from the corn meal, and that will actually attack the oak wilt fungus. Mind you, I'm just repeating what I've heard. I'm still waiting for a really good research on that.
That's right. I'm questioning whether it's a legitimate.
I'm winking at Calvin to help me out to be the devil's advocate on that.
Well, I understand, but it's a cheap fix or a cheap try. The next thing was to look at Alamo injections.
So for everyone out there, because you're right, we haven't been talking about oak wilt for a very long time. Back in May of 1984, Mark Peterson, that would be me, and a couple of professors and doctors formed the oak wilt task force. So we talked a lot about it, but we haven't been talking about it lately. The chemical prophylactic, it's not a treatment, a curative. It is prophylactic on the trees that we would inject the trees with a chemical called propiconazole, and do it for trees that are not showing infection. But those trees which are 100 to 150 feet away from the symptomatic tree. So if they do have the oak wilt, you have a 1 out of 5 chance of survival. And you could try the Alamo, but I would not suggest it because it is, as you indicated or implied, that it is quite expensive.
Yeah. I mean, it's a ways away from me right now, but so I figure if I can make the trees a bit healthier, then that's going to be the best bet.
So we haven't talked about it because a lot of the education practices that we recommend have worked, and most of the centers that were pre-mid-90 or pre-aught when I left the Forest Service in 2006. So I basically knew where just about every oak wilt center in the Tri-County area here, and we don't have a whole lot more. Those existing centers have expanded, but relatively new centers have occurred. And I attribute that to the great educational system or practices we have promoted, such as painting your wounds immediately. If you can, hold off pruning during April and May. And strong ordinances and legislation, regulation, and practices that we've had. So, and planting of non-oaks or non-target species. So, red oaks and live oaks kind of reduce that and increase the amount of white oaks, like Mexican white oak and chinkpin oak and lacy oak, bur oak.
Kind of a quick question for my neighbors that have completely lost all their oak trees. Can you, when you take it down, use it for firewood, chip it up? What do you do with it?
Absolutely. You may use it for firewood. You may use it for mulch. Now, this is live oaks. Yeah. Red oaks. Right. Red oaks we would try to destroy.
No, these are all live oaks. We're right down the street in Hollywood Park.
Yeah.
Is that a center?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes. I discovered it and confirmed it. And initially, the homeowners didn't want it to be promoted, and I said, well, I got to talk to the city about it. And I know exactly where it is and where it started in Hollywood Park.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering about how to get rid of some of the trees that are doing it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I would encourage a few new species, white oaks or cedar elm in that area. Just a few.
Okay.
Just for repair.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
good
calling.
questions. Appreciate that.
Good question. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. If you've got a question, is there anything else you want to bring up about oak wilt is now the time that people worry about it, or?
No, actually, I would want them to worry about it more in March and April.
Okay.
That is when the transmission is most likely to occur, and it's most likely to occur on the larger branches or on the trunk. And so please do not prune during that period of time. But if you do prune that period of time, then painting is mandatory.
All right.
And in the third leg of any kind of tree disease is usually plant-resistant species. And the gentleman next to where the Oak Wilt Center started, he planted a lot of trees.
Oh.
And so you see the area kind of devoid of trees except for his lot. And he's got all kinds of trees in his. And he immediately replanted.
So we had a storm. Was it Monday?
Mm-hmm.
And in our neighborhood, I see limbs down, and they're oak limbs, so they should paint. They should do what, or is it too late by the time they get it in the morning?
Well, it's June 1st, the latter part of May. We've already gone through 100-degree days.
Okay.
So it is highly unlikely that there is any fungus out there that can be transmitted.
Okay.
And they're usually that's dead wood where those breaks are.
Okay. Well, they had green on it. Not in the wood, but had leaves.
Well, of course, the more conservative is to just not take a chance. Go ahead and paint.
Just go ahead and try to paint it.
Absolutely.
Okay. I was just curious.
No. That's also what is that? The ice hail. The hail.
Oh.
Often questions
I didn't think
on
about
hail
that.
Damage. Is that conducive to it? We never had a actual finding that hail actually cause or induce the infection of oak wilt. And it could be likely, but that's why I made a point about it is easier to infect large branches and the trunk of the tree.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And so where we saw back in the 80s, where we saw a lot of infection centers were along power lines and new developments where they had like a bulldozer clearing for cedar and they were nicking all the live oaks.
Oh.
And then there would be oak wilt. So that's right. So it is less likely to be infected on littler branches.
Oh, on the lower branches?
I misspoke. Bad English. Littler is what I said.
Oh.
But smaller diameter.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Branches.
Okay. Interesting stuff. Where can folks go if they want information about oak wilt?
Excellent.
Thank you.
Trained you well.
Yes, sir. Where do they go? Where do they go?
They go. They look up TexasOakWilt.org.
TexasOakWilt.org.
All one word.
Yeah.
And then you go to it, and then you see symptomatic leaves, how to prevent, what to do, how to manage.
It's also a good idea to review the ordinance in your community.
Yes. So
some of them are quite different.
All of them were written by me, and then additions were added against my mild protests. So, such as don't prune any oaks from February 1st through July 1st. Well, the insects and the fungus and the tree susceptibility is usually around April and May.
And then so
they're being very, very protective.
Okay. All right. 210-308-8867 if you have a gardening question. That was a good one. I'm glad glad you called in, Bruce. 210-308-8867, the number to call. A few minutes before we get you caught up with the news. Did you have a question?
Where do I find the roses?
Oh, There, she just wants to know where to find the roses. So 210. Oh, let's talk about. Well, let's talk about the dragonfly question.
Okay.
So she was asking. She said a number of people have asked her about attracting dragonflies to the yard.
And the reason is dragonflies eat millions, or billions, as
Really?
Carl Sagan would say,
Oh.
dragonflies. And so
Of mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
They're not eating the other dragonflies.
Sorry. My mind
I
is
know.
going.
It was like,
No. We want them to eat the mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
But dragonflies like a little bit of sun. They're more evident in the sun. So you need a water source close by.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need some flowering plants, dense plants, kind of low ground, low area ground. So they like to move in and out of those.
And you should see, with the dry weather we've had, the dragonfly population has not been huge. Just luckily,
Yeah,
either as the mosquitoes. But you should see an increase. You'll certainly see a mosquito increase quickly.
Absolutely.
And then, but falling a couple weeks behind that, you'll probably see a dragonfly increase too.
I was sitting in the shade in the picnic table reading the newspaper this morning, and I was attacked.
By a dragonfly?
Attacked? No, by mosquitoes.
Oh, okay.
It was terrible. My blood was depleted.
You barely made it up here.
Barely made it out.
So did you? I'm trying to remember. Did you say which plants, or it doesn't matter? You just need the water source.
I didn't say such.
Oh,
plants,
it's more physical than plant specific. I mean, the dense.
Right.
Yeah. So a boy, I would have a water source, maybe aerified. When we talked about live water, some plants. I was looking at this lemongrass over here. That'd be a nice plant.
Where is that?
Over
the big tall?
Yeah, big tall one. Some flowering plants. Now, they're not going to be nectar oriented, but they would like to zoom in and out the taller plants,
and
particularly in the parts.
Porterweed will not be their favorite, but the mistflower maybe.
I was going to say mistflower, and then the shrimp plant would probably a little bit of shade and a little bit of sun there. For those two would be a pretty good choice.
You know what? If you got purple martins, they're not the best friends of the dragonflies.
No, they're not. That was my introduction to purple martins. Watching them swoop down, pop a dragonfly. The dragonfly went toward the ground, and the purple martin circled back underneath it and grabbed it and ate it.
I suspect that also the chimney swifts and the tree swallows that we're seeing flying everywhere now are also will feed on.
Now,
both mosquitoes and dragonflies.
Yeah. Now, people will talk about buying ladybugs. In fact, I think Milberger's, I believe, sells ladybugs. Can you buy dragonflies?
You can.
Really?
But the sources, I would not say, are always, how do I say it?
Reliable?
Reliable.
What does that mean?
Well, I don't know if they're always.
Don't mention the sources.
No, because I can't remember any.
Oh, okay.
That they would be reliable, or that they would be easy to find.
Okay.
I've never seen any. So.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I've seen once upon a time. So I can't say that I've never seen them, but I've seen someone say larva. Or eggs primarily.
Okay, you buy the eggs, and what do you do with them?
Put them in the.
You hatch them.
Yeah,
no, I know, but how do you hatch them?
Well, you put them in water.
In water?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like a glass of water, and.
Well, no, like a bird bath type,
okay,
or a water source.
Well, probably one of the easiest places to find dragonflies is if you live by a stream or a water edge.
By a little marsh area.
And you can recognize the larva because you're not going to unless you get.
I don't know about that.
Unless you get a net, I don't know where.
Yeah, that is. I say. I think just scooping up some water would be.
Yeah, I'm not. I would guess that the easiest thing to do is just to encourage them by having that
water.
To the plants that Mark mentioned, and letting them have access to mosquitoes, and not spraying in the general or up high in the air or anything.
So this would be a bad thing if you wanted to encourage dragonflies, is you have the big misters full of malathion or what else that would spray the backyard to get rid of all the mosquitoes. Yeah, it would, but it would get rid of a lot of non-targeted plants, non-targeted insects.
Okay.
Well.
So we'll. You had something when we come back from break. We'll mention it. So if you've got a dragonfly experience and we'd like to hear it at 210-308-8867. And Calvin, you were asking about something else yesterday. Let's see if we can remember. We'll take a break. Get you caught up with the news
all day?
on 9:30
Do I have to
a.m.
think about it all day?
We're back with Milberger's Gardening, South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery. Mark Peterson, Dr. Calvin Finch. I'm Milton Glueck, and it's a pretty day out here. It's warm, but not too warm. And we encourage you to come on out. Oh, let me give you
It's humid, but very humid.
Speak for yourself. It's hot.
Oh,
it's
not
hot
too
out
bad.
here.
Oh, man, y'all always find the silver lining, the cloud behind every silver lining. So Al gave me a message that according to NOAA, National
Oceanic and Atmospheric Agency.
Okay. We have San Antonio is 1 inch short. This doesn't sound right. 1 inch short of the amount of rain it normally gets in May. That seems too low.
No, not in May.
It's one. Yeah, for the annual.
Yeah,
for May. Are 1.4, one and change short of the annual average.
Okay.
Up to date, up to June 1st.
All right, but in May, we got enough. We were almost.
We were plus 2.5.
Oh, we're plus 2.5 for May. Oh, I see what he's saying. Maybe so. And here's the forecast. So, right now, currently, it is 87 degrees, sunny. Yep, some clouds, but we don't get a chance of rain until Tuesday night. Then Wednesday, 30% chance. So nothing over 20% this week, and nothing after Wednesday night. But things change rapidly.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I was going to say, yes, but Calvin and I are always likely to point out that we are still way below the historic average for this time of year.
35 feet.
And if we look over the past 5 to 6 years, we've been below every one of those years. And so we need to catch up big time.
Okay.
But we're always optimistic, and we would expect that we will catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, 210-3.
I hope we live that long.
Man, you were doing so good up until that.
Hey, we're from the upper Midwest. We always got to do that.
All right, 210-308-8867. Yeah, what's up?
Oh, no, I just thought you were going to tell me you were going to break.
Oh, no. We just came back from break. So Trace, I have a question that I don't know the answer to, so I'll wait and ask you when we take a break. But do you want to talk about the training yesterday? Did y'all do a training?
We did, but I got to
remember.
Slept since then.
Oh, dear.
I got to remember.
Why? Why did you sleep?
What did we talk about? We talked about roses.
Oh, good. Okay.
So the insects and fungal problems that they get. And so a customer had come in this past week that had thrips inside their blooms. So we discussed how to treat them. We discussed how to prevent problems from happening before they start. And what else did we talk about? Rose funguses and what those look like and why they tend to happen. So all the rain that we've got, we figured there's going to be some fungal issues on roses and crepe myrtles. So next week we're going to talk about crepe myrtles.
Okay. So what do you do to kind of, is the key prevention?
Yeah. What do you do when they have fungi?
Or
what would I would remove all of the infected material because you can't fix that, and then I would spray the new growth as it comes out to stop it from happening again. And you cannot even leave one infected leaf on the ground, Milton. You know why?
Why?
Because all it takes is to be watered or wind blow, and the spores pop right back up and start the problem all over again.
Okay.
So roses are a preventative maintenance plant. It's a whole lot easier to stop a problem from happening than it is to deal with it once you have it. So we talked about Bear 3-in-1, and it doesn't matter if they just bring you a thrip problem or they bring you a fungus problem.
Oh, the
that
we go to the Bear 3-in-1 because
that's not a bear. B-E-A-R.
I know.
Nor is it B-E-X-A-R.
It is not. It is B-E-Y-A-R or Z-R. Two E's?
E-R.
B-A-Y-E-R.
B-A-Y-E-R? Okay.
And so every problem that a rose can get, it's going to help. So even if they only have one particular problem at the moment, they should get that product because they're going to have other problems.
And it treats the problems. Does it also feed them, or is that a different product?
That's a different product.
Okay.
We do have a fertilizer for roses that has the systemic insecticide in it, and that is a wonderful preventative. It is a horrible curative.
Oh, okay.
So it needs to be clean plant before you start that.
Okay.
Hey, Trace.
We didn't talk about that, though.
No.
Hey, Trace.
Hey, Trace.
I often get the question is it okay to water from above or at the base of the tree?
So it's a horrible choice to pretend you're God and water from overhead.
Goodness.
There are many, many plants that will have very bad reactions to that, roses being one of them. Water just the soil. You can't control the rain, Milton, no matter how much you try, no matter what your Texas sage says. You can't control the rain, but you can control where you put the water.
Okay. So I should water by the
drip line of whatever it is.
Okay. Drip line to the trunk?
Sure, mostly at the drip line.
Okay.
Give or take 5 feet, I think, is where most of the root system can actually take it in is.
Now I find that a wand is very good at applying the water with a nice 0400 head.
It is.
Hey, do you have them here?
We do have wands. In fact, that's what all the girls use.
Mm-hmm.
I only have one person that doesn't, and he's watering trees, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay.
He can't get it on the foliage even if he tried.
Okay.
So the staff can direct it to the person, I want a wand. I want a great head for on the wand watering plants.
So they all have the little breaker head, so it's not a huge gush of water coming out. Most of the wands come with cutoffs, although the cutoff doesn't last forever. But we have upgraded a few of ours. I'd have to check to see if we have them in stock, but there is a brass cutoff. That is an upgrade.
Oh, okay.
In fact, it's repairable. And then we also carry an aluminum head. So if you drop it, like we do a lot, the girls will just be watering and then they'll just drop it, and sometimes the head breaks. So those are the only 2 upgrades we have made in store to some of the ones that the girls use.
Okay. That's good to know.
No.
And so
you like how I was feeding him the questions?
Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah.
Almost intentional.
I think it was. So is there any plant that you can water from above, or just you recommend
So there are
all
certain
of them?
plants that actually enjoy that.
Really?
Most of them do not.
Okay.
So
Which one?
ferns would be the ones that would love to have the extra humidity that hosing them down creates. In fact, even if you're not watering, you should mist.
Yeah, my wand has a little mist feature.
To increase your the moisture content in the air.
Oh, for ferns or for all of them?
For ferns.
Okay. Okay. So that's a good one. And then so we're going to go over crepe myrtles next Sunday?
Sure, Saturday or Sunday.
Okay, we can go over both. People that listen on different days. I'm worried about the crepe myrtle.
So one of the other things we talked about, because I'm remembering these things.
Oh, good. Okay.
was deer repellents.
Ooh.
And how they should be sprayed on even the best deer-resistant plants for the first 3 months. That plant has been pumped its entire little life to be as big and beautiful as it possibly can. So it's going to taste different now than it will once it acclimates to the real world. Example would be lantana. Sometimes they'll eat brand new lantana because those leaves are soft and supple.
Okay.
Well, he's giving them more credit to those ornery deer, than I would. Sometime he talked about them eating and treating the new plants just like they were bona fide food.
Yeah.
But they're very curious. They're very
ignorant. They're
yeah.
curious and
even
ignorant.
if they don't like it, Milton, and I think they do this on purpose, they will pull some brand new plantings straight out of the ground.
Yeah, I've heard people complain about that.
Surely so you plant something different, I think.
It's almost like, and then they'll stand over there and watch when you come out and you're shaking at them, and then you replant them, and then back they come.
So he's shaking his fist. I would be
What?
shaking a bow and arrow or a
we need a
410.
We need to have a deer support group here. That if you've got deer in the neighborhood, just once a month you come to Millburgers and everybody talks about it, and just to kind of get ideas, but to release the anger at the deer.
Now you've got several choices on the deer repellents.
We do, and we actually talked about the smell because they all smell, but some smell better than others.
Yes.
So
Calvin wants the one that smells worse because he didn't like your other idea.
He wants liquid fence.
Yeah, I like that really works.
And it does work, but it also repels people. So if you have a neighbor that you don't want coming over, they won't come over if you've used liquid fence.
and if you want somebody that you want to limit them from visiting you.
Yeah,
then you leave those shoes on that you use the liquid fence when you're spraying, and then and you'll notice that
he's not wrong.
Crinkle their nose.
They won't invite you over ever again, huh?
No.
Okay, so there's liquid fence, which apparently has a very off-putting smell to the deer and maybe to you.
Then we also carry I Must Garden, which is just as stinky.
Okay.
But they mask it with something that's not so bad to us. So one of them is masked with mint. So it has still a rough, ugly smell that's masked with mint. And then the other one, I would call it a clove scent, but I haven't smelled so good in a long time. So
no, people tell us that.
So it's a spice scent, but to me it smells like cloves.
Okay.
And what are the names of those again?
Liquid Fence was the first one, and then the other two are I Must Garden.
I Must Garden. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now the reason why do they have two, you ask?
Yes.
Why?
Because you should change the scents occasionally.
Oh.
And they want to be what you change to, so they make more than one type, so that when you alternate, you can alternate back and forth within their product, not necessarily go to another one. And I think we carry one called Bob's as well.
I think you're right. Let's help JJ at 210-308-8867. Hey, JJ, welcome to Millburgers Gardening, South Texas. How you doing today?
Hey, great, guys. How's it going?
Good, man. Good.
Hey, have you ever heard of the tree called a custard apple tree?
Say what?
Custard apple tree.
Custard apple tree. It's an apple. It's a type of apple.
But I can't remember why. I don't think it's a rosaceae, a true malice. I think it's a different tree, and it looks like an apple. I'm reaching here because I have to go in the Wayback Machine, and the Wayback Machine doesn't always work.
So I guess y'all don't sell it there then, more than likely.
No, I don't think it is. Trace is looking it up on the phone for if it has a different name.
Sugar apple.
It's called a custard apple.
Custard apple.
Another name is sugar apple, which I also
that's another type of apple tree. Sugar apple is actually sweeter than the custard apple.
As I had mentioned,
where did you get it?
Yeah.
No, I just saw on the internet somebody was trying to sell one, and I was wondering if they would survive here or not. They're supposed to be real good.
In general, apples don't do well here.
You're right.
Period. So the closer it is to a real apple, the worse it's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was mentioning to Pat. I said in and around this area, particularly if the closer you are to Blackland Prairie, you are going to have a cotton root rot.
Oh.
And the easiest way to do that is acidify it highly.
That's it off.
And
Raised bed,
it's
drip irrigation.
Drip irrigation, yeah, raised bed, drip irrigation, highly acidified soil, sandy loam if you can get it. So there's a lot of things you need to do with to grow apples in this area.
And then it will last about 7 years. Or
7 to 9 years.
Kind of like the blueberries, huh?
Very much so. But
blueberries don't grow
A&M
there
has
for years.
developed blueberries which can grow here slightly
In containers.
in containers.
So
yeah,
the best blueberry is going to be Tiff Blue. Why would I say that?
because it would probably be the best one.
It would, but it's self-fertile.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So you don't have to have buddies to get blueberries.
And it responds to growing in a container, so you can control the environment better.
Yeah. So if you were interested in getting these and raising these, that's what you'd have to do: container or raised bed, preferably, sandy loam, and a process where you're going to have some kind of drip irrigation involved. And acidified on occasion. What else, Trace?
And pray a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, Trace, do y'all sell Venus flytraps there?
Of course.
Yeah, they do.
How does that work out? Is that actually an insect? How does it? I've never seen a plant move like that.
So it's a carnivorous plant. There are many types. It has to be, to function properly, it needs to be in a terrarium environment, which means it's naturally not going to get any food. So you have to provide it. You have to go hunting, I guess, for soft-bodied insects, ants being the most likely thing to catch.
And it's a lot of fun for some kids.
So kids love to mess with them, but what they don't understand is that will only open so many times. If it's tricked, it tends to die. So they will open and close multiple times, but at some point it thinks it's defective, I guess, and that little stem dies.
So is your pitcher plant an easier carnivorous plant to do?
Well, it doesn't have to be in a terrarium.
Okay.
So my wife kept one going. A lot of things, Milton, I judge by how long it takes my wife to kill them. Mm-hmm. And she kept that one going for, I want to say, 6 months to a year.
Okay.
She had it hanging in the living room with a grow light. She gave it a name. I don't remember what the name was.
Okay. That's what I wanted
and
to
she
know.
would turn the grow light on in the morning, and she'd turn the grow light off at night, so it knew night and day. And most people don't read enough before they start one. So you have to have water in the pitcher for it to make the little odor for the gnats or whatever to want to go in.
Okay.
And our water is hard water.
Oh,
That's not good for it. So distilled water would be the easiest way to water it, as well as to have a little bit of water in that pitcher. But yes, easier to grow, but still long-term, great novelty, I guess, is where I'm going.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Didn't you say that both those plants are highly sought after for Mother's Day?
And
or
yes,
Valentine's?
Valentine's, Mother's Day, and any of the holidays, Father's Day.
Okay.
Father's Day's coming up.
Yeah, Father's Day is coming
choice.
up.
Hey, can I ask Calvin a question about a bird? There's a bird that makes a sound like a predator. You ever seen the movie Predator? And it makes a clicking sound.
Well,
has he ever heard? What bird does that?
Well, you got a couple of choices there. Ravens, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then our caracaras. Have you got any of those in your neighborhood? Mexican
I don't
eagles?
see them. I only hear them.
Yeah, they make a clicking sound.
Do mockingbirds too?
Yes, yeah, you're right. They do, and it's always amazes me that you swear it's a bird that's as large as an eagle, but it turns out to be a mockingbird.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, we have
So it's
mockingbirds and
mocking
blue
you?
jays chase
Blue jays.
chase the Cooper's hawk away all the time. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Too.
I wasn't sure it was the predator or the bird. 'Cause, you can't see the predator.
It could be both.
Oh, yeah, here's Sarah. Look at there, the hummingbird right there.
Yeah. Sorry, JJ. But that's we got to take a quick break. Okay.
All right, give me a break, like Jerry said. Give me a break, man. Okay,
You be careful with the predator out there, will you?
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 210-308-8867. We're going to come back and talk to Bert after this on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Having a great show today. Hope you will be a part of it by calling us at 210-308-8867 or just come by 1604 and Boulevardy Road and treat yourself to some plants and maybe we can help you answer a question. We're going to go all the way up to Michigan now and talk to Bert and see what's going on. What's happening, Bert?
Oh, I'm sitting here in a balming 67 degrees. Sunny day.
Hey!
You're killing us, Bert. We lost you. Oh dear. Oh, that's a shame.
But I heard it's going to get warmer tomorrow.
Oh, is it?
I read it in the newspaper.
I saw your forecast for next week.
Yeah,
above 100.
Yeah, no, do that. No,
no, stop, Bert. You're killing us.
No, okay. That's right. I just wanted to give milkweed update.
Oh, you're going to get a milkweed update.
Oh, yes.
Calvin, did you want to have a seat?
Calvin is heading towards the gates of coffee. No.
No, but now you got his attention.
Okay.
What's up?
I planted the Kelvin's swamp milkweeds, and maybe 30 or so, and one sprouted, germinated in one day, and then nothing for 2 weeks, and a couple more. So I've got 6 out of 30, maybe, and they're doing good. They grow very slowly. I don't know if they spread. I've got butterfly weeds. That's the tuberosa, Asclepias tuberosa. They don't spread either, at least not here. And then the common milkweed, the Asclepias syriaca, they spread. They make rhizomes on the ground, and they come up everywhere, and they go a foot deep. Here.
What was the first one you mentioned?
The first one
that you planted?
The swamp milkweed, the incarnata that you sent me.
Shrub or
swamp?
Swamp. Okay.
Or showy.
Swamp. You know the. Yeah.
The swamp.
I wrote it.
The swamps range all over North America, basically.
And he said he got 6 out of 30. That doesn't sound real good.
That is consistent.
No, is it really? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's showy.
The incarnata.
Yeah. Showy's that same percentage. Butterfly weed. Yeah, so that...
The common one up there, isn't that the incarnata?
The butterfly weed, yeah. Oh, no, that isn't. That's tuberosa.
Tuberosa is the butterfly.
Oh, incarnata, is that the... I'm trying to think, is that the showy?
No, that's the swamp. I wrote it down.
Okay.
Because I forget. I'm 75. If it's from 15 years ago, I remember. But if it's 15
days... I don't know. We're right behind you.
Some of us are even ahead of you.
Well, you made it this far.
Yeah, that's pretty consistent. The percentage of germination seems to be that low, and then the second challenge is that transplanting, getting them to transplant and then last for 3 years until they get to develop a root system and enough of a top to be drought tolerant.
Yeah. Well, I like those plants, and the corn milkweed comes back easily, and they grow 4-6 feet tall.
Oh, the swamps?
But they spread underground with the rhizomes, and then they come up everywhere. So with common milkweed, the syriaca, plant them where you want them to be, and not in a corner of your raised bed.
That's the one that your farmers up there and in Minnesota as well as Michigan spend a lot of time trying to control.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I said to you.
Because it is aggressive and does spread and has an amazing root system.
Yes, it does. There was some other thing. There was that caller about tomatoes not ripening. Mm-hmm. I think it was Dr. Jerry Parsons that told me, you wait, you leave them on the plant till the shoulders, it's the top of the tomato, starts turning color, even if it's only a little bit. And then you can pluck them, because at that point, the seeds are ripe, and the seeds release a chemical that makes the tomato ripe, or starts the process of ripening. So I thought, well, and I've had that in the lotus too. We pluck them when they're still green in the fall, and then they're all December, January on the table in the back room, and they never ripen if you pluck them too soon.
Yeah,
that's
what we were faced with.
I remember Jerry saying they're sexually mature. You'd always use the mature.
Yeah. Well, I don't dare to use that word.
Yeah, I know. All righty. Well, thank you, sir. When are you going to come back and visit us? When are you coming back to Helotes?
Yeah,
he used to be
I would
Helotes
love
Bert.
to come back.
Too hot to come back? Now, Bert, it's only going to get up to the high 90s. You're scaring people with this 100 degrees. I saw the weather forecast.
Can I say one more thing about?
Sure.
There was a caller a couple of weeks ago that his cabbages, they wouldn't make heads or start to grow heads. And Dr. Sam Cutner's vegetable book, difficult for a Dutch guy. When temps average above 75 Fahrenheit, the plants are when the plants are maturing.
Hang up on him.
Heads don't form or make loose, puffy heads. So it's a temperature thing too.
Right.
Yeah, that was quite a while ago. I'm barely remembering that. Thanks, Bert.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's right. Yeah.
All right, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Always good. Always good to hear from you. All right. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. The number to call to be a part of the show. Yep. The weather is in the high 90s, but it's not 100, Bert. So that's good. Every degree counts.
I saw a butterfly.
We can't hear you because you're not at the mic.
I just saw a butterfly, and I haven't been able to identify whether it's a queen or a monarch. It looks a lot like a monarch.
Man,
he had this coming back to haunt me.
He had that look on his face and was pointing, and I was trying to figure out what, and then I realized it was a butterfly.
Okay. We have seen there was
easily distracted.
While y'all were talking about something else, too, there was a hummingbird that was all over the shrimp plant.
Yes.
Well, and it was going all down the whole lane.
I noticed it at the shrimp.
You think it's the same hummingbird we saw a little while ago, or you think it's a different hummingbird?
No, I think it was the
same guy.
Well,
let's name them.
There was a male earlier, but this was a female.
Oh, this was a female, so it's not the same one. Okay. Yeah. So we have to we can't name it.
I hope not.
Okay. You don't like when we name things. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. What's going on? What else is going on, Trace? You mentioned talk again about next week and kind of what you're going to have and stuff.
Well, so I can't remember anything unusual coming other than some ad items that we've never run on sale at ridiculously cheap prices.
Okay.
Trace, I wrote my article next week is about peaches. What do we have for peaches at this point?
The only one I remember down there is the red blooming one. There might be
the Red Baron.
Yep. So there might be some other varieties, but I know that one's down there.
A lot of times they have you have La Feliciana.
Yeah, and then June people are harvesting June gold.
Right now, outside our parking lot, they have gentlemen selling June gold.
So that's why the gardeners are interested. Is that because the the peaches here in the San Antonio area, Fredericksburg area, are being harvested, and so they take a lot of interest in there. It's not, you can grow successfully peaches, but it's not exactly easy. But it's certainly you got more of a chance of being successful with peaches than you do with apples. And then I guess, Mark, we should next week we should talk about figs and blackberries and
pomegranates.
Yeah,
wow!
Some of those things that are easier.
Quite a few pomegranates blooming around town.
Oh, okay,
including the one in my backyard.
Well, pomegranates seem to be a winning choice.
No, none of them have swollen butts, but I do have blooms.
Well, sometimes it is and sometimes it's not.
Okay.
You have ornamental pomegranates.
Mm-hmm.
They're never going to produce fruit. And then you have some fruit-producing pomegranates, but temperatures may be not such that it produces fruit every year.
Okay.
But some years it does produce fruit. And now is the time that it is producing.
Okay.
And yeah,
is yours producing? Oh, you said that you don't have any buds, or what do you?
I have blooms, but you can tell which ones can actually be a fruit and which ones can't. Kind of like squash, where you see the swollen thing on the end of it. That can actually be a fruit. So the blooms without that are just pretty.
Okay. But they're real drought tolerant, both the fruiting and the non-fruiting and the ornamental?
They are. The non-fruiting variety, to my knowledge, is just a little short-growing guy. It's more of a hedge plant than a tree.
Okay.
Well, no. And there's some, they're like 14 feet tall, the ornamental, that, and the deer don't, in a lot of places the deer don't eat them. So it is an amazing plant. And the blooms last like 2.5 months on that.
That's a while.
Oh, wow, that's good.
The reason I'm talking about them is that my neighborhood is loaded with them. Those big tall ones. I don't know. They've been there forever. They were there before I got there, so I don't know what selection they are. But they're amazing and very attractive. And then Trace is right. There's a whole lots of choices, every size. Just like the Nandinas, from the really short ones to very tall ones.
Oh, Trace, do you want to discuss this? We kind of talked about spider mites yesterday and getting rid of your tomato plant. You have a method that you like that I brought up. Do you want to discuss how you get rid of spider mites on tomatoes?
My answer to that is dig them up and throw them away.
Right, but you have a special way of picking them up and
getting
throwing
rid
them away.
of them. So somebody already has spider mites on their tomato plants?
I think actually Calvin has spider mites on his tomato plant.
All right, so put a trash bag over the top and get it tied down, cut the stem, and that way you don't transfer the mites all over everything else.
Okay, now what if you have a cage on there, tomato cage?
Well, then you can take it to somewhere where you're not going to infest the rest of your vegetables.
Okay.
And you can cut up the tomato plant, push it on the way through, and then pull the tomato cage back out.
Okay, so you maybe you're 100 yards, or you're take it to the street or to a car wash. Or
not 100 yards. We discussed this at 100 feet.
Oh, I'm sorry, 100 feet. Yeah,
that would be football field.
Knock on wood. Mine get tremendous airflow, and I don't get the problem.
Oh, you don't get the spider mites at all?
Not where I've grown them lately.
And another thing is, if you you want to keep those weeds, which is really tough now that we had the rain. You keep the weeds away from the edges or around the tomato plants. It really makes a difference too. There's a giant swallowtail up there.
I'm just waiting for the tomato hornworm. And it's about time for the
I haven't
moth
seen
that lays us at.
Haven't seen any of them, but yeah, I was surprised when I saw these spider mites, mostly on the rodeo tomatoes.
Yeah, he said it seemed a little early, right?
It does seem early.
But it's been a warm May. It'd be interesting to know, too, if it was a warmer than usual May.
Well, yeah.
We had some warm days, but...
Yeah.
And it's depends on the selection, depends on the environment there. But the problem with mine was last year I had the most problem with my large containers down at the lower end of my yard. This year, it's the plants up at the top in the garden. So the spider mites are treating me to their presence everywhere now.
Okay.
But that'd be interesting. Folks, take a look at your plants and see. And that's another reason to let them. Well, don't let them go too long, but pick the fruit as soon as it gets full size and you see a little color.
Do you want to give us a tomato report, Trace, on how yours? You had the 968s, I believe, right, and some others.
So the Ruby Crush are outperforming everything.
Okay, seems consistent.
I walked out last night, in fact, because my wife had me plant some stuff in the backyard after I got off work.
Oh, okay.
That was fun.
Sure, sounds like it.
And I saw a green tomato on the ground, almost turning color. And I'm like, I started yelling at the dog. Don't yell at her. I gave it to her.
Oh.
And I was like, why would you do that? Now she's going to realize again that she can go get them anytime she wants. So I have a feeling when I get home there won't be anything blushing on my plant.
They make a dog deterrent for tomatoes?
It's called a water hose.
Oh. You can't use dogs probably like the smell of the I Must Garden or the other one.
Can't imagine.
No, that they like it?
No, I can't imagine that they do like it.
Oh, okay. I don't know. They like bad smells.
They have sensitive noses, kind of like us.
Yeah, don't be talking
More
around
so
my
us.
dogs about that because my dogs don't even see the tomatoes. You know.
Oh,
your dogs are short.
Yeah. How do your dogs feel about what's the one that smells bad? The deer.
I don't have deer in my
No, I know, but
Liquid
we were
Fence.
just talking liquid fence. How do your dogs feel about the smell of liquid fence?
I would imagine they would hate it, or they're going to roll in it.
I was going to say the rolling in it. Do your dogs like it or no?
No, I use it mostly for the iris bed, new planting, and they don't seem to have any interest in it.
Okay.
The dogs don't. The deer don't much like it.
No, but that's okay. Well, the dogs have no interest either, so. All right, we're going to take a break. While we do, give us a call, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. More Milberger's Gardening South Texas live. We had a bunch of people ask us that yesterday. Where do I hear your show? Were y'all live? Yep, we're live here at Milberger's from noon to 2 every Saturday and Sunday. You can come by and visit with us and listen on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. 210-308-8867 is our number, and you can also come on by the nursery and visit with us. Lots of great things on sale, by the way, here this week. We talk about them in the commercial, but we'll talk about the 50% off plants. The split leaf philodendron in the number 3 pot, normally $34.99, is now 50% off. Pomegranates, we talked about them. They are not 50% off, but they are 25% off. Hybrid roses, 25% off, value starting at $39.99. We have, let's see, what else? Tropical Bird of Paradise, all of them in stock, now 25% off. Avocados, you were talking about that earlier.
Yes, and Trace said he had multiple varieties. Mm-hmm. Anywhere from 4 to 5, I think.
Figs are 25% off, and lots of things. Go to milbergernursery.com to see all the things that are on sale this week. Mark, you were talking about the thing that's going to drop this weekend, or no?
This Friday.
Yes.
It will be the June Gardening Volunteers of South Texas video called Go Gardening. So when you go to the website, Gardening Volunteers South Texas, and it may be shortened to gardeningvolunteers.org. But then you look for the tab that says Go Gardening, and you'll have 2 new videos. And they're there for approximately 30 days, and then they go to YouTube archives. And somebody told me that they were watching some of the older ones, which was funny. They said, "Oh, you didn't have a beard at that time." Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of wondering about the beard right now, but this month is one that I really like is at the Haven for Hope.
Yeah, you were.
And it's a beautiful garden, and I walk around. And I have the microphone instead of the lavalier attachments, and so it was fun.
Good.
Doing that.
And they go to gardeningvolunteers.org to find everything?
Right.
Okay.
So it's the Go Gardening tab, and the new ones will drop on Friday. I don't know, early morning or like 10, but I would be safe and say 10 o'clock, 10 a.m.
Okay.
But I was what I was also going to mention was if you want to know more about how to get dragonflies into your garden, there's several articles at gardeningstylesanantonio.org, and they talk about the plants and how to bring them into your yard. One of them is written by me. A couple of are written by the talented authors or consultants at the Conservation Department.
Okay.
That's another thing to go out and read.
How was your June gold?
Looks good.
Okay. What can you do anything with the pit now or no? Can you plant it?
No.
Why not?
Because it's a complex. It's on a rootstock, and if you plant it, it won't survive the way you want and produce the fruit the way you want.
Okay.
I thought he was going to go, it's too complex for you, Milton.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, he probably wanted to go that way and just decided against it. Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah.
No. That's a good question. Everybody asks that.
I bet.
But everywhere you plant has got basically a different rootstock that works best in that area.
So citrus, you can do citrus. Citrus comes true from the seed.
I know we've talked about that.
But then it takes a million years for it to start producing. That's why we do it on rootstock.
Okay.
They're grafted, then production is very soon after.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, you remember I planted the lemon seed, and I have a sprout, but it's the slowest growing thing I've ever seen.
It'll take a while.
Yeah.
It's a long childhood, a long adolescence.
Okay. Any thoughts, Calvin, on that? No.
No, I mean of course, Steve Brown reacted the same way you did.
It's like
he thought,
came up.
It's more fun to grow it by seed.
Yeah.
But he actually got some production on oranges about much quicker than we expected.
Oh.
I think it was
good for you, Steve.
I think it was 5 years he got them.
Right.
Rather than we kept telling him it would be 7 years. And then he said he based his retirement on the fact that that the oranges were now producing fruit, so he was ready to retire.
Oh, okay. They were
made us feel good,
They were producing, so he thought that as a sign of retirement. Okay. I have another squash that's came up from seed, so that's exciting. My garden's very exciting right now. What else? Before we close out the show in just about 6 minutes?
My zucchini died.
Oh, why'd your zucchini die?
Well, didn't a gentleman come up to us yesterday and said, Milton, it needs water? Do you remember that?
Oh, yes. That wasn't about zucchini, though.
No, but I did.
You did not water it?
Yeah, I did not water that one. Yeah. And
we should next week.
But my squash survived. I had a zucchini and a squash.
Okay.
Next week we should ask for reports on the Mexican squash. How many folks actually grew that instead of or in addition to summer squash?
See, I would always think that'd be a great addition. I didn't find the seeds, so I didn't find the plant. Neither did I find the plants. So I wish I'm like going, I should have planted that.
Yeah, a lot of gardeners have the seeds.
Sown it.
or you can get internet. There's a lot of sources on the internet. Takes about 2 days to get it. Yeah, I'm sure that there's production out there. Lots of production.
Okay.
Has Calvin mentioned the blooming butterfly weed?
No, the ones right over there.
I had to walk by him to get up on his porch. So
Yeah, did you see those?
Is that tuberosa?
No,
Or
it's just tropical.
Oh,
okay. Where's right here?
Only 150 there.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell us about them.
Well, they're blooming.
Right.
And
What are they now?
Butterfly weed.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful butterfly plant.
Tropical butterfly weed.
The awe that Calvin didn't spot those.
Yeah.
Right on his
I didn't
path.
see them until now. And they're amazing. Mark and I bring this up all the time that they're the favorite. You know, we talk about the native milkweed, but actually the favorite of the monarchs, the tropical. If they got a choice, they'll seem to get the nectar, and also they like to lay the eggs on there. So it's an amazing plant, and they're easy. This is one that you can grow from seed easy,
and it's pretty because some of those butterfly weeds are not pretty.
No, not pretty.
Yeah,
but this one. Yeah, so it's y'all won't move it.
Well, they're pretty in their own ways, as we used to say,
compared to other milkweeds for sure. But they've been growing for years and years.
There's no ugly milkweeds. They are all beautiful in their own ways. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
much better.
That's my grandmother speaking.
Okay, good for her. So we have that. He didn't notice that. The blue plumbago looks great.
It does.
Oh, well, my 4 o'clocks. Do pollinators like 4 o'clocks?
The bees get on them. The butterflies do.
Okay.
I've never seen a hummingbird
or okay.
No. You would think they're little cone-shaped flowers, aren't they?
No, they're kind of flat.
Oh, flat.
Well,
okay.
You're right. There's a compromise.
Yeah. So and like anything cone-flake would.
They look like vinca flowers.
Okay.
But,
okay.
Yes, you are correct.
They're fun to experiment with, for sure.
And you've got those are the cone flowers over there behind your right. Those are pretty.
Yes, more than one color.
Yeah. And what's the ones? Are those also the same thing in front of them? The deep red, and there's a pink in the deep red.
They are, yes.
Okay. And we talked about the desert rose. I'll have to go check that out. You've got that here. You have hybrid roses on sale.
We have all roses on sale.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
So that means everything. So the antiques and the Katrina roses over there.
Tough modern roses.
Yeah.
Lady Bangs.
Those beautiful drift roses as you walk down the main aisle.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Those
Talk about the drift real quick before we run out of time.
That's the newest. You know, for years everybody talked about knockouts, and they were on every landscape architect's diagrams and plans. And it seems like the last several years they've been converting over to drift roses.
Okay.
So it's a much shorter rose.
How tall?
It depends on the variety, but shorter than knockouts.
Okay.
And they seem to be pretty darn disease resistant. And lots of colors.
Yeah, lots of colors.
Oh, good. And pretty hardy?
I would almost throw it in there with the tough modern roses, like knockouts. There's a reason that the architects moved to things like that because they have fewer issues.
Okay, let me see if I find the price on them. I know you said they're all on sale.
Most of those are going to be $34.99.
Okay,
but then they would be
25% off.
25% off.
Okay,
but again, all roses.
Would
even the patio trees?
Oh, wow!
25% off.
Would those be a good? You know that area? I've heard another show call it the Devil's Strip or the Devil's something between the sidewalk and the street.
8 hours of direct sun are better than airflow. So yes, but what do you get when you get roses? You also get thorns, and so you could be asking for some issues of people walking by.
Oh, okay.
Well, you complain a lot about people stealing your blooms, and
I know they did with the poppy. rotten, freffing, stiffing.
Maybe with those thorny old roses, they would be
Maybe
less
they would.
inclined to do
No, he'll just see his neighbors walking with scissors.
Are poppies
Or
done
running
for?
with scissors.
Are poppies done for the season?
I'm pretty sure it's hot.
Yeah.
They don't
Okay.
like it hot.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gone to seed.
Yeah, if they have not blossomed and gone to seed, they are not going to make it. at all.
Okay. I was just curious. I was trying to think if I saw something about Castroville and Hondo and the poppies, but maybe that was a while back. All right, we're going to say goodbye for today on behalf of everybody here. Thanks to Trace, thanks Calvin and Mark. Thanks to Al doing a great job. Lots of good calls today, lots of good visits. So I'm Milton Glueck. We will see you next Saturday back here at Millburgers.